Welcome back to Buzz TV. I'm Steve Strum. This morning we have Jim Moseley from Moseley, Prichard, Parrish, Knight, and Jones. Did I get it all?
You got it all, Steve.
I know I've already misspelled your name, so I apologize in advance. Well, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Steve. We're looking forward to it.
Absolutely. So we were talking off set. You have a law firm that your dad started? Your grandfather started?
No, actually it was started in 1906 by nobody of any relation to me.
Because we're not that old.
We're not that old.
Yet.
Some people may think otherwise, but my dad started practicing with the firm in 1961 and is the senior partner there. And we have 12 lawyers. And we do everything from civil litigation. We do criminal law. We're known as a transportation firm, but we represent a lot of interest in the business community, small businesses and big businesses as well.
So you've been around for a couple of years, 1906.
Been around for a while. I've been not that long, but I've been practicing in Jacksonville for 30 years,
Nice.
Over 30 years. And I have to say, being in Jacksonville is a great place to practice law.
We were talking a little bit about some of the really interesting things that you guys have as a full-service firm.
Yes.
But you had mentioned that your reputation is in transportation law.
Correct.
So tell us a little bit about what that means to the average consumer that may not understand how important that is to our community.
Sure. We do a little bit of everything. We represent franchisees, small businesses, wills and trusts and estates and taxes. But what I do in a lot of litigation also is transportation law. And our firm has been lucky enough to represent shipping interest in the maritime world, trucking, and also the railroads in Northeast Florida and throughout the state and also in Southeast Georgia.
We have a couple of those.
Yep.
A couple railroads, a couple boats coming in.
That's true. And our port is really growing, Steve. And I think that's one thing I think that people that are consumers here need to know. You know, just a couple of weeks ago, the deepening of the river was approved, which will also have an economic impact to the city of Jacksonville. Right now, we have about 150,000 jobs that are directly and indirectly related to the port. That means people such as myself, lawyers, CPA and economists, other service people and office workers, besides the people that are actually out there on the ships and stuff. With the deepening of the port, Jacksport estimates there'll be another 15,000 jobs also on top of that. So it is an economic engine. They pay a lot of state and local taxes, roughly around $700 million a year throughout the year for state and local, as well as other economic incentives and other things that help the community.
So for folks that watch the show that are not in Jacksonville that are probably going, what? Right now. So I happen to serve on Economic Development Council years ago. Interesting that we hadn't met before because it sounds like our lives are intertwined. But the way it was described is, so it is more economical to take a post-Panamax ship down through the canal, come up through either Miami, Jacksonville, Savannah, because we can reach most of the eastern United States within 24 hours.
Yeah, well, just take a minute and look at a map. Most people don't realize that Jacksonville is directly south of Cleveland.
Exactly.
And
everything's New York.
Yeah, it's directly south of Cleveland, so we can enter the heartland of the United States quite easily. We also have I-10, I-95, and all the railroads come by here. And so we also have a very good maritime service with all the maritime companies that are here up and down the East Coast and into the Gulf.
So why is the deepening of the port a big deal, and why is that something that you focus on within the legal practice?
Well, it's because it's good for the community, as we've discussed. Sure. And as far as in transportation, it's good for all the transportation industries that we have the good fortune to represent.
Yeah.
And it's good work and it's high-paying work for the people that work there.
So tax-based opportunities, obviously the growing community. I had heard once when we were looking at it is it's like you have a 24-hour Walmart, but the parking lot's open for 8 hours with regards to the deepening now.
Yes.
Now, we don't just do logistics and transportation law. You do a full-service firm, but
Correct.
Within the time that we have to talk today, it's amazing to hear the perspective from somebody who's been in a business for 30 years at a firm that's a century old. If people want to find out more about your firm, everything that they could do, when is the right time to talk to a lawyer, whether it's estate, business litigation, what's the best way to connect with you?
Well, first of all, I think the time to hire a lawyer is when the problem reveals itself.
Interesting.
That is the time to look at the situation to see if it can be resolved efficiently. because no one wants to pay litigation costs and go into that. So if it can be handled in an efficient manner, and I mean lower attorney fees and costs, and also getting the result that you want, it's better sooner than later on something like that. We like to look at our firm as a large firm capability with medium size efficiency, and that's what we do at our firm. And we have people that do everything from business law, wills, trusts, and estates, as well as complex litigation, civil litigation, criminal law as well.
So for people to find out more, I would imagine your menu of services is on your website. How do people connect with you?
Our website is www.mppkj.com, and our telephone number is 904-356-1306.
Thank you for joining us and giving us an interesting perspective from the legal side of a vibrant, growing economy of North Florida. Very interesting. You just don't get this stuff every day.
Well, thank you, Steve, for inviting me.
Absolutely. Guys, thanks for joining us on Buzz TV. If you like us, share us. Remember, live with gratitude.